auctions, please, start jumping on. We're actually doing another one this Wednesday. What date is that?
The 27th. Yes.
7th.
Yep.
So Wednesday, the 27th, we will have another auction, but let's not talk about that just yet. Let's talk about the auction we had. It was an amazing auction. We had some unbelievable fish available, and we sold every single fish in the auction. So I want to say thank you to everyone for being a part of that auction. Excuse me.
It was very worked up. It was an emotional auction. It was a very emotional auction.
It was a very emotional auction. We had a really, really good time. You know what? The auctions are so much fun. Good morning, Debbie. Debbie actually just came and picked up the rest of her fish. Debbie, I hope everything is going well. Good morning, Kathy. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Big C was behind the scenes, and we had fun talking together, and everyone on the show really kind of joined in, and it's really becoming like a family.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love it. We just have so much fun doing the live shows. I really like doing that on Wednesday evenings. That auction works out really nicely. So I do want to say thank you to you guys that were on the auction. It was a lot of fun. Very interesting. So we had Lisa is not on. Lisa Maddox was on, and she actually picked up almost.
I think it was a baker's dozen.
It was 14.
It was even more. Wow. All right.
I think she got 14 fish.
Definitely over 12.
Yeah, it was she was dialed in. We're going to talk about this when we do the next auction too. But we had changed the show a little bit so that the increments were different, where we did $25 increments for fish that were 500 or less, and then $50 increments for fish that were $50 that were more than $500. And Lisa literally had it dialed in where, all right, if her bid was at 400 and it was $25 increments, she literally had it typed up that the next bid, if someone bid against her, would likely be 425. So she had 450 already typed in. So as soon as someone put 425 in, boom, she put 450 in, and she was just on it.
Yeah,
and
it kind of sends a message too, right? It's like, I'm taking this fish.
Yeah, she was ready, and it was pretty impressive. But we had a lot of fun on the show. Yeah, Debbie, thank you for joining it. It was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing another one. The reason why we've been doing them bi-weekly, but the reason why we're doing one this Wednesday coming up is because I'm going on vacation, and if we didn't do one this Wednesday, it would literally be almost a month.
Yep.
Because I'm going away for a couple of weeks. St. Lucia, I'm so excited. Very excited.
You deserve it.
I do. I need a little bit of time off.
This is a long season here. It's like the summer months is like a 5-month season.
It is a long season, and for me, listen, like everyone at this company works a lot of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Ryan. For me, good morning, Jim. Yeah, she did clean up. She really did. For me, as a business owner, I basically from March 1st all the way to I think July, I put in 7 days a week.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
So for me, it's a lot, so now I do take off Sundays now. Sunday is my day off to spend with my wife. My kids don't want to spend time with us. My kids they're older.
Yeah.
My kids are adults, and they have their own lives. So my daughter Bailey lives in Massachusetts now, so we don't get to see her very often. Bailey, we miss you. Travis works with me all week, so he definitely doesn't want to see me on the weekends.
Mm.
And Zach is, he's got his girl, and they do their own thing.
Yeah, he's got his job.
And he's got his job, and so we don't see the kids very often, which kind of is sad.
I've been debating if I should tell you this or not, but I'm going to.
Oh, wait, well,
yeah, you first.
Now you have to say it.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So, first, I make a note of marking down my dreams and writing down what I dream at night. This morning I wrote
Wait,
down.
really? You
Yes.
write down your dreams?
In the morning. Yeah, because
Does anyone else do that? Does anyone else write down their dreams?
yeah, like I try to hold on to it because I try to see if there's some meaning in it because my mind's maybe telling me something that I'm not paying attention to during the day. So this morning I wrote down broken tire rim. Travis came to fix.
What?
Travis was in my, like, I had a broken tire rim.
My son is Travis.
Yeah, your son Travis came and helped me jack up the car and fix the tire.
Wow.
I have no idea what that means. If anybody has any insight, I'd be more than.
Travis likely isn't watching, but
No.
if you are watching, good morning, Brian. Travis, just so you know that there may be a time in the near future
Yes.
that you may be helping Big C out with his tire.
With my tire.
So make sure you bring a jack with you.
Yes.
Very important. Hey, Monty, how are you?
And I know how to jack up a car. Like, I know how to change a tire, but I needed a second hand and I called Travis.
You know who's like Joe expert at tires is Michael.
Oh,
Michael's
really?
he's got his tire kit with him.
Uh-huh.
And you know, back in the day, like we would, like if we had like a problem with a tire, like we were like, got to bring it to the tire place. And now like they have these kits and they're super simple to do. Michael comes out and we get flat tires all the time. You know,
Yes.
like we have 5 trucks going out every day, and so it happens often. And so he just runs out there. We've actually had customers, because we're right on the service road.
Oh,
We get a lot of people who are like, my car has got an issue. I'm going to pull into this parking lot. And literally we've had people stop right in the middle of our driveway.
Yep.
Breaking down their car. My car broke down right here. Well, really? You didn't have to pull it right into the middle of my driveway. We've had them park in the middle right in front of the gate, like blocking the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had people pull into the middle of our parking lot and literally walk away. And they'll just they'll leave their car and it's like, really? We had one scenario where we had to have the car towed, where they parked they parked at the end of the day before, they parked in front of the gate. And then we came back the next morning and the car was still there.
Wow.
Like just sitting, they just abandoned their car in front of our fence.
We had a child handoff on Thursday, and the child, and I was about to say, hey, can you please hurry up? And they were like kind of blocking, you could get by. And then the child was just was not okay with the handoff from one parent to another. So I didn't want to be.
We're assuming that it was the parents.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But we get a lot of that, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got on this subject, but I'm doing well. I have a topic for today. Would love your input. Monty, let's definitely get to it. Hold that thought. We get a lot of, again, because we literally get 10,000 cars a day on the service road, and it's almost 100,000 cars a day on 231 on the corner. So it's a massive amount of traffic that passes by here. And we get a lot of people that have chosen have chosen our location as the location to exchange things.
Yes.
So they'll pull into our parking lot. You think that they're coming in as a customer, and they pull into the parking lot here, and then go, can I help you? No, I'm just waiting for someone. And then that someone else pulls in, and then they'll exchange something. It could be, drugs. It could be
who knows what.
Mm-hmm. And I think I might have told this story before, but back in the day, I worked at Atlantic Nursery in Freeport, and I lived in Massapequa. So, and I would take the train to Freeport, and then I would walk all the way to Atlantic Avenue. It was, I was probably walking 4 or 5 miles a day, whatever. It was easy. And I was sitting waiting for the train. So I'm sitting down, I was in Freeport, and I'm sitting at the bottom of the stairs, and a car pulls up on the right side because the tracks are going this way. A car pulls up on this side, and another car pulls up on this side. And one guy gets out of the car here, another guy gets out here, and they walk by with briefcases, and they exchange briefcases.
So cool.
It was right out of a movie.
Yeah.
And they right in front of me. They exchanged briefcases, and then they went their own separate ways. And to this day, I mean, you're talking, I was 19 years old. I'm now 53.
Right.
Yeah.
34 years ago.
It was 34 years ago that happened. And it's still in my brain that I saw this movie exchange of 2 briefcases.
That is a bizarre thing to see.
It was definitely, it always stuck with me.
The trope is justified.
The trope is justified.
The trope is justified. I'm interested to see what Monty's question
I am
is.
very interested too. Monty, the stage is yours. What do you got for us?
So while he's typing that in,
Monty's typing in his
Yes.
question. Thomas, I hope all is well with you. Good to see you. Ryan, great to see you. So lots of things going on. As I said, we had our auction last Wednesday, the 20th, and we have another one coming up on Wednesday, the 27th. So definitely be there. We look forward to seeing you. Same time, same channel. So 6:45 p.m. will be our pre-show, and then 7 o'clock will be our live show, and we have some amazing fish picked for you. So, and we'll talk about that some more. We're going to release some video on those fish coming up for auction.
video should be up Monday.
Awesome. Video will be out Monday. So Monty said, I recently inherited a pond you would be familiar with. Actually, I wanted to know, since the cold weather will be coming soon, what is the best way to protect your koi, and what do you do to get ready for that drop in temperature? Well, Monty, first question, because you threw it out there, is a pond I would be familiar with. So what pond is it? Can you give me a last name? I'm just curious to know. Or do you have a picture of I wish we could do that.
We got to figure out a way to make
Like,
that
we
happen.
got to figure that out. We could actually, there is a way to actually bring Monty on.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how you do that, but we could actually bring him in. And
We could
he
bring him in.
Show us the ponds. So, oh, okay. All right. That's right. Monty, I remember you coming in here. I remember this. Okay. So congratulations. So Monty purchased, so James Rothwell, who is the editor-in-chief of Maru Koi magazine, lived out here on the island, and he's been a part of many of the koi clubs, had this amazing pond in his backyard, and Monty bought his house. James moved to Virginia, I believe. I just talked to James. James is actually coming out here to be the judge for the grow out contest.
Oh, okay.
So we have the grow out contest coming.
Mid-Atlantic Koi?
Yeah, there was the MAKC.
Yep.
And James is going to come and judge the 10 fish and pick the winner.
Mhm.
I think that was October.
Yeah,
It was
sometime in
October 5th or something like that.
early October.
It was on a Sunday. But congratulations on picking up an amazing pond with your house. So your questions: what is the best way to protect your koi, and what do you do to get ready for the drop in temperature? I wanted to know, since the cold weather will be coming soon. So we're actually going to be doing a whole bunch of conversations about what takes place as you lead up to the fall, and then what happens in the winter, and what you're supposed to do. And different ponds do different things, but one thing that we do, this is Koi Market, and if you guys live in the area, we're happy to help you. We net the ponds in the fall. So netting the ponds means we put a net over the pond, and the reason why we do that is to prevent all the leaves that are falling going into the pond. It will make your winterizing of the pond that much easier, and it will not put the fish in harm's way by having a tremendous amount of leaves land in the pond and sit at the bottom of the pond, just breaking down and creating havoc on the pond. So in the fall, before the leaves start falling, in September, before the leaves start falling, we put nets out. We have a very heavy duty half-inch netting that we use. We put stakes every 2 feet around the pond, and it stays nice and tight around the entire pond. If any of you guys have gotten our netting, we're probably the only company in the entire country that has this netting. It's an amazing net that we were able to pick up from overseas, and we've been using it for a couple of years now. If you need it, we'll be talking about it. We'll have it available to show you in some upcoming episodes. And we're actually going to show you, we're going to be winterizing one of the ponds, and we will show you how we do a winterization. But that's a while away. I hate to talk about that kind of stuff, but now, because it's still summertime.
Yep.
But you brought up the question. So the first thing we do is we net the ponds in September before the leaves start to fall. You're going to get to a point where, as the water starts to cool and you get into the 60s, you're going to switch to a cool season food. And we actually have our multi-season food from Saki I Carry, and we have our cool season food from black water. We actually just got it in stock. It came yesterday. So, and we had a customer, Jason. You guys know Jason Necknez. He's always on the show. He actually just came and bought some today. So
Plenty in stock.
yeah,
Plenty in stock.
yeah, we have plenty in stock. So you can start stocking up on that, and you can start mixing it in as your water starts to get into the 60s. You can start mixing in the cool season food, and as it gets into the lower 60s, then you can start to transition to that cool season food. And the reason why you switch to a cool season food, which is a wheat germ based food, what should I do if my car my
We'll get to your
cars have
question.
babies in the ponds?
Yeah.
We'll get to that. So we're talking about the cool season food. The reason why you switch is the fish have a tougher time passing through the higher protein based food. So we switch to a wheat germ based food, which is easier for them to pass through. A lot of times, in the cooler water, the food can actually sit and not get passed through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Debbie has a question about food as well.
Go ahead, Debbie. I have a question. I think I remember you saying that you don't like to give the really big fish the big dog food size fish food. Can you explain that, please? It's a really good question. So they'd actually proven quite a number of years ago. And so the fish have teeth. Contrary to what everyone believes, they do have teeth, and you can actually find these teeth a lot of times in your bottom drains, or if you have a bottom, a pond bottom that doesn't have rocks in it, it's easier to find. You'll actually find these little teeth at the bottom because the fish will actually lose teeth as well. So they have teeth for grinding in the back of their mouth. Now, fish, koi, do not have stomachs, which is why we stress that it's important that you use a very absorbable food, because the food will pass through them, and you want a food that's going to absorb into the fish's body. So very important that you have a very highly absorbable food. So you want to stay away from corn-based foods, which is something I always push. Guys, you know what happens when you eat corn? It tastes good, but it just passes right through you. So you stay away from the Blue Ridge koi foods. Stay away from Tetra. Anything that's corn-based, absolute garbage. I know Blue Ridge has a platinum food. I think that one is not that one's not a corn-based food. But if it's a corn-based food, stay away from it. We grew up with Tetra. Tetra was like the name when we were kids. Like Tetra was the name. If you were into aquariums and ponds, Tetra was. I mean, Tetra even was the first company to come out with pond liner. They had a full Tetra liner. I remember back in the day, and it was green on one side and black on the other. I don't know if you guys remember that. But you want to stay away from those foods. You want a highly absorbable food. And then this goes back to what we were talking about. So on the larger pellet food, when the fish are crunching down on that food, the larger pellet will leave a lot more big chunks that will end up passing through the fish. On the smaller pellet food, they have an easier time grinding down a smaller pellet, which means more of that food will actually get absorbed. Some breeders are actually using a tiny pellet. They've gone to an even smaller pellet than a medium size pellet, which is like a 4 mil pellet. So yeah, using a bigger food, we've moved away from that. Maybe on very, very large koi, not such a big deal, but most people don't have very large koi. So moving to a smaller food has been proven by many breeders to be more absorbed into the body than using a larger pellet food.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So we got another question from Rico. What should I do if my koi have babies in the ponds? Well, congratulations if you did. You're a grandpa. Very cool. Listen, it's going to happen. It's not like you can you can't really prevent it. If you had a pond that has bottom drains and nowhere for the eggs to attach to and hide, then I'd say great, because then you won't actually have babies in the pond. Some of you may want to have babies in the pond, and listen, it's all nice and everything to have, like, yay, my fish had babies in the pond, but a large percentage of them are going to be fish that are not going to be fish that you probably would have picked to put in the pond, and then they become an additional burden on the pond. They're creating waste, they're eating food resources, and they're creating waste that you wouldn't otherwise be there if you didn't have them in there. So they definitely, yeah. I'm not a fan of that. So do you have Dainichi food? It's funny, you're like the second person to mention this in the last week. Just so you know, Dainichi koi food that's for sale in the US has zero to do with Dainichi. Okay? It is not, has no association.
So that's like a brand
whatsoever.
name in Japan. And then,
Dainichi is the biggest Japanese koi breeder in Japan.
Gotcha.
You know, he's, you know, they breed the biggest and best grand champions in the world.
Mhm.
They're also, you know, the most expensive
Sure.
fish to buy in the world. So, you know, if you buy a Dainichi fish, you know, if Showa from X breeder is this,
Yeah.
Showa from Dainichi is, even if the fish is the same exact quality, looks exactly the same, is going to be 5 times more if
Wow.
you bought it from Dainichi.
So somebody in
It's like
America,
buying, you know, like a Gucci
Yeah.
shirt versus it's the same material as that shirt, but it was made by a different person.
so some company in America took the Dainichi name and is creating products.
So either they licensed the name or they took the name. I'm not sure exactly how that
Okay.
works, but they have zero association with the Dainichi company. Dainichi does not use that food in Japan. It's not that the food is a bad food. It's a decent food. We actually used to sell it, but the food got so expensive that it was the same price as sake haikari, and it 100% was not as good a product as the sake haikari line. So we just stopped carrying it. It just got ridiculously expensive, and it just made sense for us. And that's when we actually switched over to just carrying sake haikari. It's like, well, we're avoiding carrying sake haikari, which is the best in the world, and we're carrying all these other ones.
Mhm.
You know, we used to carry, you know, we used to carry a bunch of different brands, you know, and now we carry, you know what, guys, a lot of companies out there you go to a pond store and they'll carry like a good, better, best food line. You know, in my point of view, it's like what do you need to carry the good one for? The good one is not really good. It's just kind of the bottom of the barrel. You know, all right. And when I say good, better, best, it's like the good is just kind of the crap.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes it's lower price, sometimes it's not. So the bottom of the barrel being Tetra is actually, price wise, is actually pretty expensive compared to, say, Blackwater. And Blackwater's food, you get way more for the pounds for the same amount of money or less money than Tetra. So why would you buy that? So we just get rid of the good category and we carry a better, best category. So I know that sake haikari is not accessible for everyone. I don't use sake haikari here at the store for any fish other than our grow out fish. Our grow out fish get the sake haikari. But our fish that are, you know, that we sell at retail, I couldn't afford to do sake haikari. I would like literally go out of business because it's so expensive.
But I've noticed
we just can't do it.
Our clients that come in and do buy food buy the good stuff. They really appreciate that better food.
We have a lot of customers that buy the sake line. Listen, Dainichi is not a bad food by any means. It's actually a pretty good food. But for the money, just in my opinion, you might as well just get sake haikari. That's just my opinion. What should I do if my, okay. Thanks for suggesting adding more filter pads to an aquascape filter. I now have 6 pads and a clear pond. Hey, Jim. So, yeah, Jim Jim, I'm not sure if you came in or we had a conversation about it, but yeah, the cheapest way to upgrade an existing biological filter is to just add more filter pads to it. So, guys, when it comes to a biological filter, it's surface area. So you have your Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter bacteria, which are the beneficial bacteria that remove your ammonium nitrite. Those bacteria are looking for surface, and that bacteria will live on surface all over the ponds. It'll cover any surface in the ponds in a biofilm. Now, in a filter, And I mean, you can see here, here's a filter pad here. So yeah, we have customers that come in all the time. They're like, oh, I have bio balls in there, or I use lava rock. Well, understand that all those things are surface area. And it's not that they won't work. Lava rock, lava rock was actually used in filters back in the day because someone looked at a piece of lava rock and was like, oh, well, there's a lot of nooks and crannies on this thing. Let's use this as a surface area for beneficial bacteria to grow, which is why a lot of filters, like even filters today, they recommend using lava rock. Well, it doesn't make sense to use lava rock. It's not enough surface area. It will provide some weight and hold filter pads down, but all those little nooks and crannies will get filled very, very easily. Oh, thank you.
That's better.
They'll get filled very, very easily with algae. So it all goes away and that surface area actually decreases. The whole idea especially in an upflow filter is, in any biological filter, is to have as much surface area as possible. So this is a Metallo pad, and this is actually the most dense. Metallo comes in 4 different densities. It comes in black, green, blue, and gray. And I say it in that order because that is the density order. The black, this is not black, this is gray. The black is the least dense, which will capture larger debris, but it'll allow the most flow to go through, versus the gray, which is the most dense, which will have the most surface area. So the blue and the gray are generally, I like to use the most, primarily just the gray in your waterfall box, because they capture the most. They'll do both mechanical and biological. They have the most surface area, and that's the goal here, guys. Is the more surface area you have, the more beneficial bacteria you can house. Okay, and that bacteria is what's going to remove the ammonia and nitrite. You have a whole bunch of fish in your ponds. They're going to create a whole bunch of waste. The more fish you have, the more waste they create. The bigger they get, the more you feed, the more waste they create, and the more beneficial bacteria you need to have to keep that pond balanced. Okay, you're going to feed your fish more, they're going to create more waste. That more waste is ammonia. Okay, if you don't have enough beneficial bacteria, nitrous ammonium and nitrobacter bacteria, you will get ammonia spikes. And when you get ammonia spikes, it's basically like your fish are sitting in a toilet bowl. Okay, that's the way you have to think about it. All right. If you see ammonia, that means your fish are sitting in their own waste. Okay, that cycle is not able to keep up with itself. Let me know if you guys are understanding this. Do you want me to go through the nitrification cycle? I can explain that. In fact, I just will, because I have time to do that. I know that you guys have heard this before, but I will just explain. I'll hold on to this for a second. My arms get to rest on it.
There you go. Yeah.
So your fish, they pee and they poop in the water, and that's ammonia. Okay, and for all intents and purposes, I give the same speech all the time. Your pond is a toilet bowl. It's kind of gross, the way I say it, but it's your fish. They pee and they poop in the water, and that's that's ammonia. Okay, you have 2 beneficial bacteria that are nitrifying bacteria. One's called the nitrous ammonium, and one's called the nitrobacter. Naturally occurring bacteria. Okay, it's kind of like if you build it, they will come. You can add more nitrifying bacteria to your pond, which is definitely beneficial. But if you provide the right environment, your water parameters are where they need to be, and your temperature is the right temperature, 65 degrees and above, your nitrifying bacteria will flourish. Okay, your nitrous ammonium eats the ammonia. I actually failed science.
That's amazing to me. You're so knowledgeable on it.
I was general science was horrible to me. Like I was just not very good in school.
Gotcha.
I was horrible in school. The nitrous ammonium eats the ammonia, converts it to a nitrite. The secondary bacteria, Nitrobacter, eats the nitrite and converts it to a less harmless nitrate. And you remove nitrates from the pond by having plants in the pond as well as doing water changes. Okay, customers will ask, why do you do water changes? Well, you do water changes for a couple of reasons. One is to remove those excess nutrients from the pond, and those excess nutrients are food source for algae to grow, as well as removing excess hormones that are released by the fish. Having plants in the pond, and I've definitely become like a huge believer in having plants in the pond, especially hyacinth, will help also to remove those nitrates from the water, because the plants will actually use that as a food source, and they'll just flourish. And you can actually see, I've shown you guys this, and if you want, we can take a look and see what the ponds are looking like these days. You can see where I have plants planted in a pondless waterfall, and I have plants that are planted in a pond. And you can see the difference in the amount the plants have grown in a pondless versus in a pond. And the pondless, like the plants are like, there's just a couple of that plant has not taken off at all. But in the ponds that has plenty of nutrients, oh my gosh, I mean, it's like night and day. And we'll go take a look at that. We have 16 people on. Jeremy's jumping in. He's got a question. Speaking of Metalla, how do you clean those when being used as mechanical filter? I've been soaking my blue pads in 20%. They get completely rinsed that way. Otherwise, it seems like stuff just gets trapped and is, we just use a hose. And, people say this all the time. Oh, if you're using, if you shoot it with a hose, you're going to knock off all the beneficial bacteria and the chlorine is going to kill. Listen, guys, we've been doing this for a very long time, 15 plus years. We've been doing this. I have 3 trucks that do maintenance every single day. We go out, we service hundreds of customers on Long Island, and I'm telling you right now, even and we do weekly maintenance on customers, using a hose with a good nozzle to
almost power washing it.
You're basically just washing it down. It takes a little bit of time. Start at the top, you work your way down, flip it around, do the other side. You're always going to have some residual on there. That's okay. But your beneficial bacteria, Nitrobacter and Nitrobacter bacteria, are incredibly resilient, and they bounce back quickly, especially if your parameters are correct. You're keeping your pH where it needs to be. They bounce back very quickly. Okay, I promise you this. I'm telling you this. Going through the steps of doing what you're doing with the hydrogen peroxide, I don't think it is a good idea. I know you're saying you're just doing this for mechanical, and I guess you're just doing this in your skimmer. But if you're doing that on your biological filter in your waterfall box, that would probably be bad. I wouldn't do that. If you're doing this in your skimmer, you may want to actually go with a less dense filter pad in your skimmer so that it's not capturing so much debris. Remember, your mechanical filtration it's doing 2 things. It's got to capture debris, but while it's capturing debris, it still needs to be able to allow flow to go through, which is why when I was saying there are different densities of Metalla, you're going to use the lower density filter pads in your skimmer. You do not want to use a dense filter pad in your skimmer. That is for biological / mechanical in your waterfall. It's not supposed to be used in your skimmer. So I usually bang them crap out of them, and they will still feel heavy. I only use for mechanical filtration. Yeah, so I will say that banging on these filter pads after a while will unravel them. These things can last a really long time, but if you bang on them on the ground, and I've seen this because my guys have definitely done this, if you bang on them too much, they will start to unravel and fall apart. And if you need to replace them, you replace them. But these are great questions, by the way, guys. Thank you. And please hit me with whatever questions you want to hit me with. It can, if it's not pond related, if I can still answer it, I will.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
And I can vouch, we did a video, and it's somewhere on YouTube, of you changing out and cleaning out our own filters here on the smaller of our 2 huge ponds. It's
Did we ever
a huge pond.
Did we ever release those? I don't
know if we did. But you are just hosing it down.
Yeah.
And the muck, the gunk is coming out. It's not a 100% sterile environment that you're creating afterwards.
Yeah.
It still has some stuff and some
interesting. So this right here probably weighs a pound, maybe
2 pounds. Yeah,
2 pounds, maybe 2 pounds. When you're using when you pull this out and it's been sitting in your filter for a week to 2 weeks, I mean, this thing will weigh like 15 pounds.
Yes.
I literally like have trouble holding it up in the air to clean it. It weighs so much. It collects so much crap. Yeah. AJ. Hey, AJ, what's going on?
What do we have to say here?
So we got here. I broke one in half, banging it on the ground. Now I just hose them down, but I usually alternate which pad I clean as to not disturb bacteria too much. Listen, everyone has their way, and I am not going to sit here and say you have to do it the way I do it. If you have a way of doing something and it works for you, then keep doing that. Like, who am I to say like you got to do it a certain way? My job is to only advise. I will never ever tell someone you have to do something a certain way. Everyone, customers will come in all the time and they're like, oh, you know what, I want to change my filtration, or they tell me what their filtration is. I'm not one of those, and you get this a lot where you'll go to you'll get someone to come in and evaluate something, and they're like, well, you need to change this. Like, you got to completely, if what you have is working for you, then who am I to say, change it? There are ways to do things maybe better or more efficiently, that at the end of the day, they're doing the same thing. A bead filter does the same thing as other filters. It just works better. It's easier to backwash. It's easier to maintain than other ways. You don't have to get your hands dirty. That doesn't mean that another way won't work. I guess there's a million ways. I hate that we use that skin a cat, but there's a million ways to skin a cat. And if that's what works, then I say go for it.
And we've had people come in, pond plumbers come in and they're explaining the setup. They're like, oh yeah, that could work. Like I see you and Michael, because the two of you do a lot of that with the plumbing side of the ponds, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that works. That works. Yeah. You're not trying to push somebody into anything. Just get it done.
Can we? Will it be too noisy if you put that fan on?
I'll turn it on. Yeah.
It's starting to actually warm up in here.
I know, it's nice. We got another question on the screen.
All right. Do you have a finer filter? So, hey, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
By the way, that black carousel I bought, what a gorgeous fish.
Oh, I'm so happy.
His belly is bright orange.
It's cool because when it comes up to eat, you see you see the belly.
You see it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, he doesn't have it on the fins.
Yeah.
He's about maybe 13 inches, so I guess he's probably maybe 16 months, probably. Is that right?
How big is it?
When I got him from you, I only got him a couple of weeks ago. He's about like that from that trail.
Yeah, he would have been either a jumbo Tosai or a Nisai at that point. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a 1 to 2 year old. So yeah. Yeah. Very happy you're happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fish are beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, when I opened my clip on in the spring, I had it built. Everything I bought from you was maybe about like this.
Yeah.
My yellow Odex. I mean, that.
Nice. That's great.
Huge.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget, everything's 20% off in there today.
Gotcha.
So guys, I put the fan on. I'm not sure if you can actually see the fan spinning now in the reflection.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Hopefully the fan is not making too much noise for you. Let me know if it is, and I'll turn it off. It was just starting to get a little warm in here. So the question was, do you have a finer filter? So the filter pads that come from Aquascape are a much more dense filter pad than these filter pads. They will definitely capture more debris than these. I find that these last a really, really, really long time. Those will start to fall apart after a period of time. Oh, you can't hear it? Okay, good. So we do have a finer, and when you say finer, a more dense would be like the Aquascape ones, and those are designed to actually fit. If you did want to upgrade, I'll just show you really quickly. So customers come in all the time and they want to add more filter pads to their waterfall box. You'd buy a pad like this. Okay, these are, say, the pads that are in there. This is for one of the smaller, the middle range waterfall box. This one is for the Biofalls 2500. You take this like this, you lay it on here, use it, take your used one, you lay it on here, and you can actually get 1, 2. So you can actually cut 2 filter pads out of one of these sheets, and you can either take a razor blade or a serrated knife, like a steak knife, a serrated knife, and just literally use the template of this, follow around this one, and cut out another one. And I'm just being honest. Like I'll get customers that will come back in, and I'm just saying, I'm not mentioning any names. They'd be like, "Well, you said I can get 2 out of it." I said, "Well, if you didn't cut it out of the middle, then you would have gotten 2 of them." So
And
just
you
remember,
guys actually do that for clients if you have the time.
yeah, we've done it.
Yep.
We've done it for customers. So sometimes a customer come and say, "Hey, can you do me a favor and cut 2 out of it?" If we're not doing anything, we'll gladly go and do it for you. So yeah, you just take this just like this. Look, you see,
Yep.
that fits on just like that. I got that 1, 2, or if it's the larger one you'll only get 1 out of this. I think it's the same size. And you'll only get 1 out of it. But the cheapest way to upgrade your filters, guys, especially waterfall box biofalls, is to add additional filter pads. You can literally add it all the way up to the top of the water. So it comes with 1 or 2 pads. You can stack it all the way up. I have customers that have 6 pads in them, and you know what? It's extra bio. It is additional work, okay? Because you're cleaning a lot more filter pads. The bottom filter pads will be the dirtiest because the water, it's an upflow filter. So the water's coming from the bottom, going through the top, and then going over the waterfall. So the bottom ones will be the dirtiest. But you can literally stack these up all the way up to the top of the water. Just take a flat rock, stick it at the top of it, and it'll hold them down. That's just the cheapest way to do it, and we've done it many times, and yeah, customers can definitely do that. So Big C's just grabbing a waterfall box here. So if you had a waterfall box like this, so the pads sit here, so you could probably fit another 2 pads in this box. You could probably do a total of 4 pads in here. So you can literally double up what comes in here. I think it comes with 2 pads on this waterfall box. You could add another 2 to it, and like I said, it's a super, super cheap way to upgrade your waterfall box. Any other questions? What do we got? I came home from vacation 5 days and found a lot of foam in my skimmer and around waterfall. Fish were fed once a day, 4 to 5 times when I'm home. I'm assuming extra protein and water. I did a small water change. I'm assuming from uneaten food, waste accumulation. Listen, it could be a couple of things. It could be an excess amount of food in there. The water, okay. We had some, AJ, I'm not sure exactly where you are, but over here, the temperature dropped into the 50s overnight. Which means if the temperature drops, your fish are not going to be eating as much, which means that, and this is what happened in the last week, what that means is that food that went in, that got fed to the fish, likely didn't get eaten and would have actually broken down in the skimmer. We did actually have some spawning going on too. We just had a customer that had, the pond was filled with foam and it stunk of ammonia, which is a sure sign of spawning, which is, there's various things that can happen there, but I know for a fact that we had a cold spell. You're in Harrison, New York. So if you guys are in Harrison, which is about an hour from us, we actually have some other customers in Harrison too. Your temperature probably dropped even more than ours did, and so yeah, we were in the 50s, and so the fish. So I had a couple of customers call me saying, "Hey, like my fish are not eating like they normally do." Well, it's because the temperature changed. And when the temperature changes, you'll see when the water gets really warm, your fish are eating voraciously. They're like super, super hungry, and they'll eat everything you put down in a matter of seconds. As the water cools down, they're going to eat less and less and less. And so if you have, and like we had a week because of the hurricane that was passing through, we had some very cold weather, and we were wearing sweatshirts.
Yeah.
When we did the live show the other night, we were cold.
It was cold in here.
It was very cold in here. So yeah.
And a ton of rain as well came with it.
Yeah.
Jones Beach. You see the pictures of our Jones Beach?
Yeah.
That's
so all the beaches here got wrecked. Completely wrecked. I think half of Jones Beach, all the way all by Robert Moses, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Like I guess they have to bring in sands to rebuild.
Crazy storm surge. And the storm was 200 miles off coast.
I live right by the water, and generally, like when we have a hurricane, we're all like, "Oh God, what's going to happen?" When we had Hurricane Sandy, we have pictures of I think it was either. Sorry, I apologize to my sons. It was either Zachary or Travis. I think it was Travis in the street on a surfboard with like a Superman cape on, like paddling through. This being Travis, I think it was Travis. But the water literally came up to like my front, like it stopped right at my front step. Like it didn't go in the house. It was like right there.
Did you get into the basement? Do you have a basement?
We don't have a basement.
No, because you're right by the water. You would.
But it created a huge void underneath my house.
Oh yeah.
So you could actually hear when it rained. You could hear like water dropping because where I am, we're all built on piling. So every house has like a massive amount of pilings. When we did an extension on my house, now 26 years ago, because Bailey was born when we did the extension, we had to put like 40 pilings. I forgot what they call them. Into the grounds to underneath the extension on the house. But anyway, so yeah. Do you have a recommended QT procedure for customers who buy your fish? I love watching your auction. Finally, just built a dedicated QT system. That means I should probably start bidding. Jeremy, absolutely. So we do a couple of things. So when we normally do quarantining for fish, we'll do. I preferred it. Number one is to be able to heat ramp the quarantine. So if you're able to bring that water temperature up, that's really important. So bringing it to that 74 degree mark is important. But besides that, we'll do. And a lot of times someone just will have a QT, but they'll just have it outside, and you have to, whatever the temperature is outside is what the water is. So let's just say that's the case. You want to be able to salt the pond for a period of time. You want to, if you can, and we'll salt it to up to 0.6. 0.6 would be 6 pounds of salt per 100 gallons of water. So it's very important to know how many gallons of water you actually have in there. You could pick up can you grab me in that box right in front of you? There's a little box there. Grab me one of those. You need a gallonage counter. And I actually just bought these new ones for my guys. We haven't even tested them out yet. I just bought this one online.
Hey, Griff, wait for that.
So this is a water flow meter.
We never get to see Griff on camera. There he is.
There's Griff
up
right there. Is a water flow meter, and we're going to test these out and see how they work. This one is from Restimo, and it was only like $20.
That's not bad.
So I bought a bunch of them for the guys because it's really important. With our customers, I want all my guys to know exactly how many gallons are in every single one of our customers' ponds. So it's important to know. So we can do gallons per minute or the actual gallonage here
Of the pond.
So it'll actually do the total amount of gallons.
When you say of the pond, you mean of the whole system of that pond.
So if you're going to dose your ponds, whether it be a medication or a water treatment or some kind of algae reducer, whatever it is, it's important for you to know the exact amount of gallonage in your ponds. You can't just go by measuring the length, the width, and the depth. A lot of customers will have rocks in the pond, you have steps in the pond, and so it's important to know your actual gallonage and not an estimate of that. I had someone come in last week who said he had a 20,000 gallon pond. Like, okay, that sounds great. You have a big pond. And then I said, can you give me the dimensions and I'll put it in the calculator. He gave me the dimensions and it was only 2,000 gallons.
Wow.
So he was, when you want to talk about being off, I mean, he was off by 18,000 gallons.
Yes.
He just had no idea. So the question is what we do. So you want to be able to salt the pond. 0.6 is, you want to get to a minimum of a 0.6% solution, and you can hold that for 2 weeks. So that would be 6 pounds per 100 gallons will give you a 0.6% solution, or a 6.0 ppt, parts per thousand. And then you're going to have to get that water out in order to treat your other things. So I would do a broad spectrum treatment. We use pure broad spectrum. I would do a prosy treatment using pure prosy. I would also use you want to make sure you have a product like Chloromex on hand. So very, very important having a Chloromex product, a product like Chloromex on hand. We actually use it every 48 hours if you see ammonia in the pond. What that will do is it will take an NH3 ammonia, which is a toxic ammonia, and convert it to an NH4 ammonium, which is no longer toxic to your fish, but it's still edible by your beneficial bacteria, nitrosammosis and nitrobacter bacteria. So it allows you to go through that new pond syndrome process. It allows you to go through that quarantine process and make sure your fish aren't getting sick or being affected by that ammonia in the pond. And you're going to put that in every 48 hours until your ammonia is gone. So it's super important. So those are the products that we make sure that we're treating with. Any other questions?
52 minutes flew by so far.
52 minutes of just talking. My throat is like
Yeah, you'll have a drink.
you know what? I forgot to bring my my cup with me today. So
Is it here though?
I don't think so. I don't know where.
I mean, you have a bottle of water left over from Wednesday that's been sitting on the counter. Want that?
Is it? Where is it?
It's I put it by your monitor over there. I want it.
I don't think it's still sitting there. Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was on this table.
I'll take it.
Yeah. It's definitely yours.
Sure. It's mine. It's okay. It's only been sitting here for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we have 15 on. Any other questions? We have, let's see. Cason spelled wrong to support. So I'm not sure what.
Question from Joe here. When is Koi Farmer coming out with the Chlormex alternative?
Joe, that is a great question. It's actually in production right now. So it's coming soon. I'm very excited about it actually. It is coming soon. And we will talk about it. So stay tuned. I don't want to just say, you know what? I don't want to jinx anything. It's going into production. We just finished the labels on it. We have all new labels coming out for our products. I'm really excited about that too. And yeah, just lots of things happening with the Koi Pharma line.
Our viewers will be seeing a lot of
Hi,
Michael
Karen.
soon.
Yes, you'll be seeing a lot of Michael soon. That is true. Great reply. That aligns with what I've been taught in my CKK courses. Yes. Excellent. Thank you, Jeremy. So good morning. Hi, good.
It's on the screen.
There you go. I almost missed your show. I was outside doing stuff at the pond and garden. Guys, just know that if you miss the show, you can catch another time. But I just want you to know that I am always available to you guys. Always. My wife looks at me all the time. She's like, "What are you? You're not a doctor. Why are people calling you at 10 o'clock at night?" It's because you know what? This is what we do, and I don't mind being there. If you have questions, you need help with something, you can call me. I really don't want to get a call at 1 o'clock in the morning, but if it's an emergency, let me know.
I see it as, I mean, you are a vet in a way.
Well, I'm not.
You're not a vet. You're not a vet.
I want to be very clear about
You're
that. I am
not a vet, but you have some suggestions. And if at 1 o'clock in the morning, somebody's pond spikes.
I'm not a vet. I have a lot of experience.
Exactly.
And I have no problem sharing that experience with all of you. Joe, thank you. I appreciate that. I have no problem sharing that with you. And guys, Big C is going to put my phone number up there.
Okay.
You can reach me at 516-547-0164. Please go ahead and you can put that in your phones. If you need to reach me for something, you can text me. I can't promise I will always answer right away, but I will do my best. Try texting me first though. Is a 100-gallon stock tank with proper filtration too small to grow out a toe-size fish over the winter? So when I got into this hobby when I was younger with my dad, but when I built the pond in my backyard in Belmore, I bought a 100-gallon stock tank and I had it on my dining room floor, where I proceeded to completely ruin the entire floor underneath my stock tank. So if you do it, make sure you put something there so that whatever floor is underneath doesn't get ruined. 100-gallon stock. All right. So when it comes to filtration in general, but especially for a quarantine, you need to over filter the tank. So you want to make sure especially with a small volume of water, you are turning that pond over as much as possible. Okay, so even when we have, so I have, we have quarantine tanks that we sell here, and they're a couple hundred gallons. I set up a 2,000 gallon an hour pump on those, and I have a Green Reset 60 set up to those tanks. And the reason why is I want as much turnover as possible. Okay, and when I say turnover, what that means is taking the contents of the pond and putting it through the filter X amount of times per hour. The more times, the better. The smaller the volume of water, the more toxic that water can become. So you want to turn that over as much as possible. If you're going to put it on a concrete floor in the garage, you need to make sure that you heat it up. If that quarantine tank over the winter gets cold, you're not going to have a good experience with that setup for a number of reasons. One, your beneficial bacteria will not thrive unless your water is a minimum of 65 degrees. Two, like if your water is going to be cold enough, your fish are going to go into a topor state. You're not going to be able to grow them out. So it's important that you're able to either heat the garage or heat the water. I do find, and I'll just be very open with you, we started out in our greenhouse heating the water. And what we found was that when you heat the water versus heating the air, it literally turns it into a rainforest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The humidity inside.
So the humidity in your garage, if you heat the water, will be massive. So that's one thing that you have to be cautious of if you're heating the water versus heating the garage, is that it'll literally turn everything in there will get soaking wet. So it got so bad in the greenhouse that if you tapped on the greenhouse, it would literally rain. Like it would shake the greenhouse and it would rain down on top of everyone that was in the greenhouse. Everything would get soaking wet. So I would never put a solitary koi in a tank. That would be a very unhappy fish. They love company, and I 100% agree with that. You do not want to put one fish in a tank by itself. It needs to have someone with it. It will help to de-stress that fish. The fish will be incredibly stressed if it's there by himself. It's a fact. Jim asked, how do you get rid of tannins out of the water? So great question.
What are tannins? I think you should explain.
So tannins are, basically, the best way I can describe tannins is almost like if you were to take a tea bag, take a clean, if I took this clear water and I took a tea bag and I dunked it in the water, that water would turn brown.
Yeah. So
tannins are just like that. It's what leaches off of leaves and seeds, and decaying debris, detritus that's sitting in the pond will turn the water brown.
So that's a big problem.
It's a huge. It's actually a spring problem. It's especially a spring problem.
Makes sense, yeah.
So what happens, especially in springtime, is especially if you have oak trees and they have those long stringy oak flowers. It's like a stringy. You ever see those? You could, if you take one of those and drop it in a glass of water, it'll turn the whole cup of water brown. So multiply that by a whole tree of it falling down, and your ponds, will turn completely dark brown. A lot of times, actually, our customers will not have us do a spring opening on their pond until after the oak flowers fall. But the way to remove tannins is there's two ways. One is doing a lot of water changes, and two is carbon. Carbon removes all impurities. We actually have our pure carbon product from Koi Pharma. No, you don't need to get it, but you can look at it online. It might actually be the product here. You'd have to look for it. But carbon removes all impurities. It will remove tannins. It'll remove medications from the water. It will literally remove anything that you have in the water. It'll remove it. But the way carbon works, it's activated carbon. So it's only activated for a period of time. So when you use carbon, it will only work for, people have different opinions, but I think about 3 weeks to a month is about all you get out of it. If you left it in the pond after that, it'll just become additional surface area. No, it's not in there.
No, it's not in the system.
We'll have to, let's update the system today. So it'll remove all those impurities, but it will deactivate after a period of time. and it'll still become a surface area for beneficial bacteria. So if you left it in there, it would still have a positive effect in some way. Because it becomes a surface area for beneficial bacteria, it'll still help to remove ammonium nitrite, but it's no longer doing its original purpose. But when you use carbon, you can't just take a bag of carbon and throw it in the water and think that it's going to work. The only way carbon works is if you sift the water through the bag of carbon. So anywhere where your water is coming out, if you have a waterfall, you would have to put the carbon in front of that waterfall and have the water go through it. In a waterfall box, like an upflow box, like one of these, if you had a box like this, okay, the water is coming through the back, you'd actually have to take that bag of carbon and put it through right in front of the inlet and have that water push through the carbon in order for it to work. You cannot, and this happens all the time where someone says, oh, you know what, I tried the carbon, it didn't work. Well, how did you put it in? Well, I threw the bag into the water. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it has to be in the direction of the running water, and the water has to sift through the carbon in order to remove those tannins. Yes, and rinse the carbon very good before putting it in, because your water will turn black. No, the only way to remove salts, that's a good question, Brian. He asked, will activated carbon remove salts? No, it will not remove salts. The only way to remove salts is by doing water changes, which is why it's always a bit of a pain in the butt when you're doing your whole quarantine, and then you want to go and treat with a product like a broad spectrum. You can't treat a broad spectrum with salt. So you need to make sure that you put the salt in, you go through the course, and then you remove that salt from the water before you do a broad spectrum, because the malachite and formalin mixture mixed with salt will actually kill the fish. Lots of questions today.
Yeah, very educational show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you earned that sip right there. Oh, by the way, I meant to say, last week, I forgot what day it was. Thank you for those Slurpees. We're all working here. We're all sweating and, moving stuff around. Sean comes in with like the double extra large, the largest size Slurpees imaginable.
You mean the Sean size?
The Chad's, the Big C size. No, I like them too. It's the size I need.
I absolutely love Slurpees.
Me too.
Like Slurpees, like for me, are like my they're like my kryptonite.
Yep.
Like when we're out working during the day, and like it's just like, do you guys like Slurpees? Like, I know this is off topic here, but when I was younger, like when we first got our driver's licenses, 7-Elevens weren't as coordinated.
Mm-hmm.
And so every 7-Eleven would have different flavors of Slurpee. Now these days, like every 7-Eleven, like they all have the same exact flavors, and they don't mix it up.
When the flavor changes, they all change at all.
First of all, I don't know if you guys have 7-Elevens by you. I'm sure you have a 7-Eleven equivalent.
Well, West Coast, we have the Circle K,
right,
which has slushy machines or ices, I believe it is.
Well, on the East Coast, especially in Long Island, I think has the most has more 7-Elevens on Long Island than like the rest of the country combined.
I believe that.
It's ridiculous. There is a 7-Eleven, every half a mile.
It seems like that.
Yeah,
it seems like that.
I've seen some 7-Elevens across some other 7-Elevens. Like, it's ridiculous how many there are here on Long Island. So Slurpees are kind of like a way of like they're kind of like a rite of passage, like egg sandwiches on Long Island,
or chopped cheese in Brooklyn. You know what a chopped cheese is?
Well, I know like Murray's in New York City. Murray's cheese.
No, well, chopped cheese sandwich is a big thing in Brooklyn and the Bronx right now.
I've never heard of a chopped cheese sandwich.
So basically, you're taking raw ground beef.
Wait, have you guys heard of a chopped cheese sandwich? I've never heard.
This is all the rage. This is the sandwich right now.
Okay.
So you're taking ground beef, a good quality ground beef, and cheese, American cheese, and you are literally chopping it into each other on a flat top.
What?
Yes. And then you're putting on a good piece of bread, chopped cheese sandwich. They're taking off. It started in the bodegas, I think up in Harlem.
Yeah.
And now it's really spread to the boroughs.
Has anyone tried one of these chopped cheese sandwiches? I have not tried one of these.
Delicious.
What is that number 2 up on the right?
Oh,
there?
so when we put the QR code up, 2 people scanned it for the tournaments.
Oh, okay, cool. You're never supposed to say Slurpee without an Indian accent.
I think that's leftover.
You know what? You know what? If I did that, I might lose some audience members. So I'm definitely not going to do that. But I do get where you're going with that. It's funny. Back in the day, I actually worked on some Simpsons projects. When I worked for Acclaim for. You guys know I used to design video games, so I worked for Acclaim for 10 years, and we actually worked. We had the Simpsons license, and we did a bunch of Simpsons games.
They had
we
a
got- we
Grand
actually
Theft Auto
worked
knockoff that was fantastic. Was that yours?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't a Grand Theft Auto. It was a kind of like it was a Mario Kart
Yes,
type
that's
game,
what it was. Yes, yes, yes.
with the Simpsons characters. We also did South Park. So
Yes.
we had the South Park license, and we worked with Matt and Trey from South Park. That was interesting because we did a Turok shooter game with the Simpsons with the South Park license. That wasn't one of my games there. But hi Aberdeen eyes.
Yes, we see you. She was just.
See you.
Oh, they were just asking if we see them
Oh,
and their
you
messages.
guys see my message? Yes. I was sure late to attend today. Aberdeen, good to see you. If you guys have any other questions, please hit me with them. Otherwise, we'll go take a walk outside. Let's see how things are looking outside. And
Take a quick walk.
yeah, let's take a quick walk. Let's do it. So the store is in
Do
shambles.
you want to not
Right
show
now.
that?
I want to show you what the store is going to look like, but you guys can see the wall that we did here. We're actually redoing a lot of the store, but you can see, you can see some of this stuff here.
Yeah.
This is a new line. We're doing outdoor lighting. This is from Bolds, but you can see how the store is shaping up. I'm not going to show you the whole store, but the whole store is literally taken apart right now because we're redoing a whole bunch of stuff. Kind of just stepping it up a notch. I'm pretty excited about how it's coming along. But we've added a whole thing.
Okay, we're live still. All right,
good?
sorry about that.
All right. So we're not going to show you the rest of the store, but we'll show you that soon.
Yes. All right, here we go.
So everything is now like really in full bloom. The water lilies have been blooming all season. Look, you can see, you just drop down. You can see some of the high-fin sharks, maybe. I can see them because I know where they are, but they kind of just went down to the bottom. I just saw 2 of them. I had 5 in here total. I'm not sure how many of them actually survived. But 2 of them are thriving, and they're huge now. They got really big, but you can see, take a look at the pond. I mean, it's just, everything looks gorgeous. Hey! Really? We were just talking about you like on the show. So guys, can I put you on? James Rothwell is in the house.
Hello, everybody. How
Very coincidental that we were just talking about you because
Let's switch sides because of the sun.
Yeah.
the gentleman that purchased your house
Yes.
had asked some questions on the show.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
So
He's an awesome
his name is was it Monty?
Monty.
So Monty, if you're still on, very coincidental.
Hey, Monty.
James just came in. I wasn't expecting you to come in.
I wasn't
What are
expecting.
you doing out here?
I was coming to help my mom, and then I thought I had a heart attack. So I spent yesterday at Mather Hospital.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, but I'm okay. I'm okay, everyone. I'm fine.
There's a chair right there if you want
No,
to
no,
sit.
I'm all good. Just all good. Although I might be pre-diabetic. Boom.
Well, aren't we all?
Well, yeah. So really, I don't want to bother the show with that, but yeah. So I'm gonna head. Came here to pick up some supplies from Sean, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna head over to the Tri-State show, and then continue back to West Virginia.
All right. So what's Tri-State show?
They have their bigger show in
Oh,
New Jersey.
Oh, that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
so
that,
they're
that other
doing
thing.
that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was gonna show, and you know what I'd love to talk about one time, when we get a chance, is I've moved from here to West Virginia, and the water has. You think you know a lot about water. You think you know a lot about koi. I mean, it's been decades, and you never stop learning. And I found some crazy stuff. I never really checked my GH. Didn't realize I didn't have any calcium or magnesium in the water.
yeah.
Had some problems with bacteria that was very hard to define.
Yeah.
So love it.
Yeah, GH is not something we generally test for.
Yeah, because here in Long Island, it's fine. We kind of check our pH, which is usually a beautiful 7 or 7.3. So we got great water here.
Yeah.
They don't use chloramines here. West Virginia, lots of chloramines, which then causes ammonia to come out.
Car
of the wine.
coming.
So if you have the ammonia coming out, and you think you think that you're changing water to bring down ammonia levels, you can actually be increasing it. So
Yeah, that was pretty smart that she did that.
so
That's interesting. Yeah.
but
So James is coming back actually to judge. We were just talking about this. We have the MAKC Koi Grow Out, and it was at Isa Showa Koi Grow Out. They're actually in the back, and yeah, we're going to be judging that on October 5th. I think it was like the
I
Sunday.
think so. Yep.
October 5th.
Back to October.
Yeah, it's the first Sunday in October. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to having you.
And I will say, Issa is one of my favorite breeders, and his koi are really. When you're talking about Showa, there's really nobody in Japan that kind of rivals the quality.
We actually were talking about
of his
Dainichi,
Showa,
but it's
you know.
Dainichi and Issa really. But
Yeah.
Issa, you'd say
But
it's,
I would still say Issa. I think even Mono. I think he might even say
yeah.
Issa as well. So yeah, they're great bloodlines there if
Yeah.
you're looking for fish.
We actually have so many Issa Showa that I bought. It's going to be very open. I bought way too many, and yeah. So anyone who's looking for Issa Showa, we have plenty.
And hopefully you got to get it because they're not the cheapest either.
Yeah. Well, we're giving them.
Yeah.
We're selling them for an amazing deal. So,
That's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
but go get what you got to get. We're gonna finish up with this.
Awesome. Thank
Talk in
you
a
for
few.
having me, and thank you all. By the way, the Koi magazine is just going to print.
Oh yeah, please talk
Sean-
about that.
Yeah, Sean is going to be actually he's our featured dealer, so he's in the article, and you could read
Cool.
all about him. Our proofreaders were kind of amazed about his bobcat story. Who's this person with the bobcat?
The mountain lion in the
Mountain
basement.
lion in the basement. We have Kotaro Sakai is I think that's one of the best breeder interviews I've had in a while. He will really sit there and tell you how you grow your fish large,
Well-
what's important, how much they're feeding. Really quite an interesting an interview, but at the same time, just how informative and how open he was. I thought this would be like trade secrets he really wouldn't want to divulge, but he did. So it's fun. We'll talk about how money has influenced the hobby for the good and the bad, and what we can maybe do to keep some safeguards in there.
Yeah.
Because money's great. We need the money. It's good for all of us. It needs to be injected into the hobby. But someone with a lot of money could hurt the hobby faster than they could help it.
Yeah.
So we really kind of just, as a community, we need to get them more involved as well.
Let's talk
So
about
we're
that.
doing all that,
I would love to actually talk more about Maru with you. We haven't done it yet. We haven't done it where on our lives where we brought someone in from the outside. But we have this Wednesday coming up. We have another auction coming up. We have our pre-show. It'll be a great opportunity to bring Maru in. We have a lot of people on our auctions, and you can let's talk about the magazine.
Yes, absolutely love to, and it's so good to kind of get it out. Anybody who had signed up before, your issues are coming, and then we purposely changed the URL because I didn't want people to keep signing up until we were ready to, let it out again. So it is going to be maru-koi.com. And the reason we switched it is we had a .us also, and unfortunately Google likes to keep it at .com.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of people going, I'm trying to do it, but Google kept changing the
Interesting.
the ending. So we kind of moved it over to there, but very, very excited. And thank you again to all the people who contributed and the advertisers and everything else. Thank you all.
So it's maru-koi.com.
Correct.
All right. So guys,
Awesome.
it is the only U.S. koi magazine available. maru-koi.com. If you're interested in getting a koi magazine, this is definitely the koi magazine to get. It is an amazing magazine. It has some unbelievable articles, especially the one coming up. This issue is all about koi market, so it's definitely the most important one for you to read. But definitely check it out, maru-koi.com, maru-koi.com.
I'm going to tell a story real fast. I'm not going to go on mic, but I'm going to tell the two of you. My father always said you could tell how serious somebody is about their profession and what they love to do by their shoes. The two of you have the best koi shoes imaginable.
Oh my God.
Both wearing rubber wellies or
Yeah.
rubber shoes, rubber galoshes, whatever you want to call them.
These are my muck shoes. They make a muck boot and a muck shoe.
These are the best shoes I think I've ever gotten, especially even when I'm farming upstate. I mean, in
He's
West
got
Virginia.
extra tough.
Yeah,
Well,
extra tough, and they, there's always a little bit of rain, and again with the pond, there's always water.
always water.
The big boots kind of get to become a little too much. These things are great. Keep your feet dry, and I kind of feel like they're a little styling, a little bit.
I know.
I have bought so many different construction shoes that have promised waterproof, guaranteed waterproof, and none of them have ever worked. Like these are the ones that I wear these every single day. I mean, they take 2 seconds to put on, which is nice.
Yes.
To deal with the shoelaces, but they last a long time, and we're on pretty tough terrain just walking around here, and they last forever. And if you're they work great. So it's funny you noticed that.
I noticed it. My father, words of wisdom.
That's all. By the way, if Monty is still on, get your butt down here and get yourself an Issa shower. Anyway,
Monty, come and get an Issa Showa. He said you have to get one.
thank you all. And,
Thank you.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
brother. Good to
I'm
see
gonna
you.
find some so I can
And
go quick.
we'll follow up. Let's talk to you about being on. Let's do something with Maru on the show.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
talk
you, guys.
to you.
Enjoy.
That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I had no idea. It was pretty funny. Very, very timely, Monty. I don't know why this is off.
So as we're walking around, if you watching at home want to see anything specific, let us know. We'll
Yeah, let us
Show it
know.
off.
Look, the rain lilies came up. And look, so I could just go in with my shoes. I don't have to worry about anything. These are little rain lilies. Very pretty. But everything is really kind of growing in. So this is what I was talking about, guys, and we've talked about this before. You can see the hornwort growing right here. This is all hornwort in there, and you can see this is a pondless setup here. You can see all the plants, they're alive. So you can see elephant ear here. Here's some iris, some creeping jenny. But there is nothing alive in this because it's a pondless. So there's no fish in here creating any nutrient waste in here. Versus this pond, which is creating a lot of waste. This is actually a little boggy kind of area here. So you can see these guys are getting water from the ponds. You can see the elephant ear behind there as well. And you can see the hornwort we've actually cut back is it grew out like crazy over there. Pond is looking amazing. Super, super clean.
Karen writes, I've never heard of rain lilies. Do you have any more left?
I will check to see if I have any left. I don't know. At this point, we're very, very sparse on what we have left of aquatic plants. Check out how amazing and how big the tropical lilies. These are the tropical lilies to the right over here where the camera is looking.
Look at the size of that flower. Yeah.
We had, at one point, we had 6 flowers up on this at one time. And then over on the left here, you can see, look at the gorgeous flowers here. You can see there's another one coming up right here. And I think another one down below that. I don't see any of the high-fin sharks swimming around at the moment. But our biggest one is now, he's now like this big. I mean, he's bigger than, more than a foot. So he's really gotten big. He or she, I'm not actually sure.
We have a question from Aberdeen, wants to know if the semicircular bench over there is for sale.
It is not for sale. I'm looking into getting more of those. That one is not for sale. That was, my mother gave that to me from her house, and we brought it here from Florida. So that one's not for sale. But I will be getting them in next year. I will definitely be getting them in. Good question.
And Josh writes that he was over at the store this morning and the ponds look beautiful.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Thank you. So one of the questions came up. Why don't your fish rip apart your lilies? All right. And that's a really good question. So there's a couple of things that I do, guys. And you can see the fish will eat the outer lilies here. If you put one lily in, it only has a couple of stems. They're just going to really quickly attack it. What I like to do is I will actually fill a pot with a couple of lilies. I'll put like 3 lilies in one pot. You can put all the same type of lilies. You don't get that on video.
No, it's not. It's not.
You can have all the same type of lily, or you can mix them up. Generally, I'll put all tropicals in one and hardies in another. I won't mix those, but you can mix different colors. But what I'll do is I'll make sure that I have enough lilies in the pot so that there's enough stems that the fish really won't be able to attack all of it. And eventually the lilies will come up in abundance, and then they'll overtake, and then the fish just won't rip them all out. And you have to make sure that you use a very chunky stone. You can see a stone that the fish can't pick up and take out of the pot. So what the fish do, the fish, like the koi, will actually, they like to pick up rocks like this. This is no good in a pot. They'll actually suck this rock up into their mouth, suck all the algae off of it, and spit it out. So you have to use a rock that they can't do that with, because once they remove those rocks, they're going to, now remember, koi are scavengers. So they have barbels on their faces, and those little barbels are sensors, and they can actually feel for worms and things in the mud. So they're going to go through that pot, and they're going to dig in. They're going to uproot the plant, and then the plant is done. They're going to rip it apart. So you need to make sure, and you can cover the whole pot. I promise you, the lilies will find their way through the rocks, and they will come up. Okay, so use a chunky rock like this, or even bigger, and cover the whole pot so the koi cannot get into the pot. It's super, super important. And then what they'll do is they'll just eat the edges of, and you can see they just eating the edges of the plant.
And
the rest of it is all fine.
And a lot of those edges of the plant is because sometimes our food, when we put food in there, does go up there.
Yeah.
So
So the fruit is there, so they're sucking on that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So you can see, look at all the elephant ear over there. You can see how much they've grown in over there too. Everything just looks phenomenal here. We did build one other thing here.
Oh, yeah. We haven't shown this off yet.
So we just put this in here. This was Mike's idea, and it was so we're gonna actually have some benches here. One of the things that I'd like to do, guys, I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, but we would like to get a food truck that's here during the week, as well as, you know, on a weekends, maybe Friday, Saturday night. And that food truck, your customers can come in and actually hang out here, have dinner out here, which would be really cool. We'll actually have tables out here, and they can get food from the food truck, and then they can come and hang out in this area. The lights are on, it looks amazing. We'll have music playing, and it's just a really nice area to go and hang out.
Aberdeen writes they're afraid to put new plants in the pond because of infections. Any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, one of the things you can do if you're afraid of that, you can pick up some potassium permanganate, put it in some water, and then you can dip the plants into the potassium, or you can pick up pure broad spectrum at a minimum, and you can dip the plants in the pure broad spectrum. Either one of those will kill off things like snails and maybe some eggs and other things. Because a lot of times, you got to be careful with stuff like that, depending on where you get your plants from. We keep our plants completely separate from fish. You don't want the fish having eggs on them and then taking that to someone's pond. So super important.
And Josh asks, the elephant ears, are they hardy in the winter?
No. Unfortunately, the elephant ears, you can see them here. They're all really starting to take off, and they are not hardy. They're all these elephant ears are tropical. I'm not aware of any hardy elephant ears actually. They're all tropicals. You know, and here's actually a great spot to just look at everything here. Ooh, look. Right there. You see him?
Is that what I think
It's
it
a
is?
frog right there.
Yeah.
It's a bullfrog sitting right there.
I wish we had a zoom. Hang on.
I think you can zoom. We have a bullfrog sitting on a rock right by the hyacinth right there. Can you guys see him? He's just hanging out right there.
Look at his eyes.
He knows we're here. He's hoping we don't see him. But he's hanging out in like the perfect spot, doing his thing. But this whole area has turned into basically like a filter. So water is coming up through here. All these plants that are in here, the creeping jenny, the hornwort, the hyacinth is all helping to filter the ponds. And the plants just look great. I mean, the papyrus is here. There's papyrus. And it just looks amazing. Yeah, it looks really good.
There's our swan. Have we ever named the swan?
Swanee.
We should have a kids naming contest one day.
Okay, we need a name for the swan. Someone give us a good name. I'm sure someone will say something.
Yes.
But unless you guys have any other questions, I think we're going to call it for today's show.
And somebody just wrote, those bullfrogs will eat smaller fish. They also have been known to eat small birds.
It's true. It's absolutely true. And you'll find that bullfrogs will eat other bullfrogs. So they will actually compete for the location, and they will go after each other. They will eat small fish. They will definitely eat small birds. Anything they can fit in their mouth, they will actually eat. So it is true. That bullfrog, if he is going to remain here and stay here for years to come, will get huge. I mean, literally, I'd be able to hold him up, and his legs would hang down like this. But I want to thank you guys for joining us today. It was a really nice time. Lots of great questions. And again, you have my phone number, 516-547-0164 if you need to reach out. We have our live auction this Wednesday, the 27th. Okay, pre-show starts at 6:45. Auction starts at 7 o'clock at 7 p.m. And that's through Zoom. So you'll need to go online and register. We're going to be sending out on Monday, you said?
Yes.
Monday, we'll be sending out a video with all the fish that will be in this auction. We look forward to seeing you this Wednesday.
And that will go up on our socials as well.
Yes, it will. It'll go up on the socials. So, guys, enjoy the weekend. And if you need anything, you know.